What's up guys, and welcome to Highwayman's Lane and the Green Man pub in Foxton, Shepworth is it called? Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
So this lane is haunted by highwaymen, and it's also haunted by a horses and carriage. It was the main highway through from London across to Cambridge, but now it's just an ordinary lane. There's a few houses dotted around and this pub. So we're going to take a walk down, and we're going to see if we can get any paranormal activity and see if we can get any of these people associated with the highway to come forward. People such as Dick Turpin, who would have frequented the York to London highway, and this crosses across to London anyway, so he possibly might have come down this way too. But if not, there were other highwaymen operating in this area.
Yeah.
So we've had a chat to some local people today, and this house over here that's recently been renovated was originally the funeral directors of this area. So they told us that also the other horses and carts that would have come right down here would have been, of course, the funeral ones, with taking dead bodies, you know, from the funeral directors down to the place of burial. So that adds a little bit of extra. And you know, when I was saying on the last episode about everything around here has got the Green Man sign, I'm talking to the camera. Look, the Green Man.
Yeah, but there was another one as
the
well.
The Green Man, he's everywhere here.
Yeah,
so I did explain to the guys on the last episode the graveyard one, which we've just come straight from the creepy graveyard. We've just come straight from there, and oh, well, yeah, we are still trying to calm down, aren't we, really, to be fair?
I'm cold.
I'm cold. You're cold.
No, that's what it said, I'm cold.
So this was the original highway from London to Cambridge. So the horses and coaches would have clattered down here, and that there, the Green Man Inn, it's obviously been renovated now around the side and the back, but the original front of it there is the original coaching house, where travellers would have stayed overnight on their journey. And across the road, which is lovely, was the funeral director's parlour. So why would an inn need a funeral director's? You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's anything like the Ostrich in London, which we went to see the Ostrich in London, the Ostrich pub in London.
Yeah.
Just trying to get some light, guys. Won't be a second. Alright. So when me and Andy went down to the Ostrich Inn in London, which is not too far from Heathrow Airport, the setup there used to be that in the bedrooms of the inn, they used to have a trap door, so the beds would tip up in the night and they would slide through the trap door and go straight down into a vat of boiling oil, and the people who owned the tavern would then rob the travellers. So this inn and this highway lane is all connected to the same thing. So let's have a walk down and see. I'll get the torch off. We'll just film in the dark for now. Andy, you have to go out and see if we get anybody coming forward. Right, so we really want to know if we can get this funeral coach to come forward.
Funeral home.
Seriously? No! So it's true then. There was a funeral home. There was a funeral home. Now, I weren't sure if they was just making stuff up because we're doing ghost investigation stuff.
Make me.
Funeral home. Oh my god, right, let's walk down this highway. Now we're going to keep it... Alright, I'll light it up a little bit. But we want to keep it a little bit low, really. Residual.
So there's people coming up and down, but...
Residual energy?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to walk down a little bit. There's some private houses down here, so we won't be able to go all the way down, but... Yeah.
Do you know me?
We don't know you, but we've come down to say hello. Did you used to travel frequently up and down this line? Did you travel from London to Cambridge? Did any of the highwaymen save us? Save our souls?
Save our souls. What do you want us to do?
Did anything bad happen to you when you were on your journey to London?
How do you need our help? Do you need our help?
If you think about it, this road follows the train route, doesn't it? The train from Cambridge to London goes exactly the same way, where the railway line is down there.
Crowded. But yeah, I mean...
So if we hear any horses' hooves, or we hear the crack of a whip...
We did get a name, Emma.
Emma.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Maybe that was the time of one of the coaches.
Old
We'll go down a little bit more
Old
and then we'll
souls.
come back because, well, to be fair, if you want me to be truthfully honest with you, there's a couple of dodgy cars parked up down here and they look like they're doing some dodgy dealings. Now, whether it's drugs or whether it's, you know,
just gonna walk
unsavoury
down
things,
there
I don't know,
and come
but we're going to turn back because we don't want to get tangled up with them kinds of people, really. It's bad enough getting tangled up with ghosts. Ghosts I don't mind, these people know. So anyways, yeah. So this highway used to run
6
from London to
spirits.
Cambridge. So there would have been 6 people in a coach in those days, probably.
Centrifuge. I don't know what that means.
No, I'm not quite sure, centrifuge. It's a bit of a modern word, really. I don't think they'd have used that in them days, that word.
Oh, no. Alarming.
So, from where we've just been, this creepy ass road is quite safe and quite calm for us right now. We've been freaked out in that graveyard. You need to watch the episode before this one, which is the creepy churchyard.
That was just creepy.
It was very creepy, wasn't it, Andy? So we've come here to calm down.
Yeah, it was.
So we're walking down here to calm down now, to get ourselves back, you know, our heads back and we're back to normal now. It's first time we've had that, both of us have had the same feeling in one place like that. And we've been in some creepy places, haven't we, Andy? We've been in some creepy ass places. We've been in Edinburgh Vaults, we've been in Paris catacombs, we've been in the Egyptian tombs, we've been,
Gold.
you know, Highgate Cemetery.
Yeah.
And this was creepy, weren't it?
Yeah, it was.
Investigate.
Yeah, we are investigating.
Yeah.
We're investigating as far down as this car that's got the strange activities going on. You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's what I'm thinking. What? No, that's coming from the road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, he's not switched his lights on once. But I got a... Oh, no, he is. Well, he might start moving because we're walking down.
Yeah.
If he's flashing his lights, I'm turning round and going back. This is the only problem with doing paranormal in the dark, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you get all kinds of unsavoury characters flashing the lights back at you, and it's like, I ain't flashing at you.
Something valuable is near.
I wonder if they lost something.
Turn back.
Yeah, we're going to turn back because that perv's flashing his lamps down there.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're married to each other. Jesus Christ, what do these people want?
Turn back. You will live. You will live.
So, any highwaymen would like to come forward? So, Dick Turpin used to frequent the...
Go now.
if he pulls up here, I'm going to tell him where to go. Creepy ass. That was him who was flashing his headlights down there. I'm not being funny, Andy, but it really gets on my wick when you get these pervs flashing their headlamps. Not everybody out at night with a torch wants anything flipping seedy or illegal. Do you know what I mean? Some of us are just looking for ghosts.
I know.
I'm sorry, Andy, but it gets on my wick. You come down a haunted road and you've got some perv flashing his headlamps at you. No, I'm sorry. It's wrong.
No, I agree
No,
with you.
seriously.
No, I totally agree with you.
I didn't even flash the torch. I probably flashed it round and he flashed his headlamps back and I'm like, excuse me, but not everybody's interested in what you're selling, so do one, innit?
Drove past and thought, maybe not, because...
Well, we've got it on camera, haven't we? Probably got his reg plate and everything. We'll tell his missus. Look where your husband was last night when he told you he was working. Anyway, let's get back to the paranormal investigation. You know what we're like, guys. We have to speak our minds. If we feel strongly about something,
I think he's
we'll
just,
just
I
speak.
think he's just repeated you.
Go on, what's it
He
said?
said not likely.
Not likely. Well, do you know what? I'm sorry, but I can't be doing with drug dealers and perverts showing their bare asses in the middle of the night down a lane such as this when you try to do a paranormal investigation. It's just bang out of order.
You need to speak. I do.
No wonder ghosts don't come down here if he's showing his hairy ass. Anyway, highwaymen. We've got some really good highwaymen stories in Britain, you know, if people who want to come over.
Yeah, but I know perhaps I didn't say it. I know you said, I said, what spirits haunt this road? And you said both of us.
Both of us.
Can you give me your name?
Are you a coach driver?
Can you give me names?
Or are you a highwayman? Or were you the funeral director from the funeral home right back there?
That was weird. It just said funeral home.
Well, it did.
No, so...
I'm sure I just saw an owl go up into that tree then. Up there, I'm sure I've just seen it go across. One of them white, snowy ones, I think it was a light coloured one. We'll hear it anyway. They'll start hooting soon, won't they, with it getting dark. So we'd like to bring forward any haunted coaches or any highwaymen or any spirits of any travellers. Did any skullduggery take place on this part of the road?
So what are your names?
Because what used to happen in those days, guys, before trains, it was all horse and cart. Same like in America, the station wagons. It was the same here. You got from A to B, from Edinburgh to York, from York to Cambridge, Cambridge to London, Bristol, by coach and horses. And the highwaymen used to hide in these trees and jump out, masked, to rob and raid, you know, the rich and the valuables. And the story with Dick Turpin was he was doing all that, but he was giving all his rich valuables to the poor. He wasn't keeping it for himself. So when they got him finally at York and kept him in the prison and took him up for hanging, you know, he just turned around and said, look, I didn't see any of this money, so you're hanging me, but I did it all for a good cause. And he did. He was a good-hearted man. He was just what you like call a lovable rogue, a lovable vagabond. But they would have hid out in these trees, just waiting for the opportunity to pounce. But there would have been a few of them. There wouldn't have been just one. Like Dick Turpin would have probably had 4 or 5 men with him. There's other famous ones down these parts as well. They would have had a few. There would have been one ringleader, and the rest would have just worked and got paid, you know, some of the profits out of it. Because wealthy people were travelling from A to B, and they was just waiting out, you know, ready to just ambush them and just get what they could, either for themselves or for other people. And this is one of those highways. It's now, this is the old highway, but we're coming up to the new road which has replaced it. So we're going to go down as far as that, and then we're going to turn and come back. Did you get anything else on that, Andy? We could, if we get a quiet spot, we could do some EVPs, couldn't we? If you want to. See if we could pick up any rogues and vagabonds. There's enough flipping normal ones down here in this century, never mind ghostly ones. That's the only thing about doing country paranormal shoots, you know, in the night. So many times this has happened to us in different places now. You just get a haunted area like this, and when you turn up, there's flipping dodgy cars parked up, and they're either touting for drugs, or they're selling women and what have you, or they just literally want you to jump in and join in, and it's like, what the hell? Not everybody's out for this at the night time, you know. Sorry, but it's all a bit too creepy and a bit too seedy for me, that. So we're at the end of the old highwayman's lane, and then that joins onto the new, so we can, well, Andy can decide what to do. He's lead investigator. I just do the filming and the yapping. Is there anything you want to do? I'll let you lead now, and I'll just film you. Something's following us?
Yeah.
Oh, did that say that on there, or this is what you're feeling?
No, that's what it said on it, yeah.
Something's following us? Has it followed us from the graveyard?
Probably.
Oh good, great. Probably? Did it say probably?
Is it something from the grave?
Oh, this is not what I want to hear, man.
No,
So, something was creepy in there lurking, weren't it, Andy?
it can't follow us. 'Cause it's,
Well, it can't. But you know what? And I'll be truthfully honest with you right now. Normally, before we come away on these road trips, I'll do some sort of protection stuff for us, and I haven't done any this time because I've not had the time.
quickly.
And really, I always like to just do the extra bit of like white magic protection around us to keep us safe in these places, but literally I didn't have the time this time. I literally just finished work, jumped in the car and went, and that was it, wasn't it? We didn't have the chance to do any sort of preparation rituals or anything like that.
This shouldn't really.
Oh yeah, let's try the SLS. So the SLS, guys, picks up figures. So if there are any ghostly figures up here, it will show.
So,
Because there isn't anyone up here.
there's nothing up here. There's nobody up
But we'll keep filming in case we get orbs or spirit mists. Or even voices, you know, we've heard, and laughter in the past we've picked up, and we've even picked up the odd shriek. If you want to watch the Whitby Abbey Graveyard. We picked up a menacing laugh in there. We also picked up a blood-curdling shriek in the mortuary of the Brionigar prison hospital in Wales. And these things are all loaded up already, so you can see them. It's just a creepy road.
There's nothing.
But horses and... I mean, I'd like to just get hoofs. If we just got hoofs, that would be something, wouldn't it? Horsemen. I'm a bit more interested in this funeral coach that used to come up and down here. They would have been black horses and the guy would have been dressed in black, top hats and all that. And they would have come down here with all the mournful people in black and the coffin on the back, or maybe the coffin on the top. So can we have the funeral coach to come forward from the funeral director's parlour at the end of the street there? And make yourself known.
Can you give us any names? Or show yourself on the camera? Any coaches that pass down here?
Any coaches at all?
Highwaymen, any travellers?
See, now we've got the National Express. And you guys in America have got the Greyhound. But back then it used to be the stagecoach in England, and it used to be the, was it the wagon trail coaches in America?
Are you somebody who passed down here? Are you somebody from the funeral home? Are you somebody who passed away and was kept there and was in the funeral home? Can you give us a name? Tell us who you are and what you did and what keeps you on this road.
Did you get any figures coming up?
Did anything coming up here?
Maybe it's not an active road then. It has got some spooky tales attached to it, but with ghosts, you know, you're either going to get them or you're not going to get them.
Homo.
Homo? Don't quite know what to make of that really, because see, we had this discussion the other day, didn't we, in Rivington Churchyard, about people being gay in Victorian times and how it would have... There was people like Oscar Wilde who was really not bothered what people thought, and then there were others that kept it well hid.
These are nasty words.
Yeah, they are nasty words. What's that? What is...
I'm not.
What is it?
I'm not repeating it.
But what is it though?
It is. I'm not even going to say it.
Okay, yeah.
People who know about Ireland,
the IRA
Protestants
thing.
and the Catholics.
Yeah.
It is a very degrading word for Southern Irish Catholics.
Is it a modern word or an old word?
It's a word that's been used for a long time.
How long?
Because
that will give us some idea how far we're going back.
It's been used probably since around the first troubles started in Ireland.
Which was when?
I mean...
Which was when?
That would have been round about, I think probably...
Just give me an age, date.
1920s, I think.
Right, so the coaches had stopped by then?
Yeah.
The stagecoaches weren't running then. The stagecoaches wrapped up about when the cars started to come in. Actually, it was the omnibus first.
I can't even believe that would come up.
So that sounds like, the two words that have just come up there sounds like somebody calling somebody rotten names, doesn't it? Like a bit of a fist fight or something.
The thing is, if the first one you're having a go at me,
I don't think it's you.
You're off the mark.
I think they're probably having a go at somebody they don't particularly like, who's maybe from Ireland or something, if that's the word they're using.
I'm not repeating the word because I'll just offend a lot.
Oh no, we don't want to do that.
A lot of people, but I can't. That.
Clutches.
What does that say?
Under your bed.
What?
Twitches.
Show me.
Quiches.
These are words I don't know. Do you know what? These could be local Gaelic words.
Yeah, that's I mean,
They might be local Gaelic words.
Yeah.
Because they would have had their own language down here at some point in the past. Because the Cornish had their own sort of, Welsh had their own language, and you know everybody had their own. It was a very strong accent that actually was like a language, wasn't it?
If you think about it, when Britain was ruled by was it 3 or 4 different kings, wasn't it? In
Yeah, at
different
one
parts
point.
of the earth.
Yeah, going
So
back
obviously
1,000
down
years.
here, and they all had the different languages.
Yeah, they
didn't
would have done, yeah.
Yeah. So who are you? Because
Don't forget, in this region, there's the Knights Templars caves underground, the ones
Yeah.
that we're going to next Sunday.
yeah,
What if it's something connected to that? Words we don't understand.
yeah. But those first 2 words are very, very nasty words.
But where did them words come from? I mean, where did they derive, from originally? What language? Were they from a language? Were they a Gaelic word? Because if they were a Gaelic word, they could go further back than that, these words.
The Irish slur, I'm not quite sure
Right.
where that come. I could find. I'll find out because I know somebody at work
Right.
who knows a lot about that thing.
Yeah.
I will find out where that word. But it's a very, very derogatory word for
right.
an Irish Catholic.
But, okay. But would they have used it back in the 1850s,
Well-
1880s era?
Possibly.
Because
I mean, I'm not sure. See, I can't remember when the Irish
You need to stay.
the Irish potato famine was. You need to stay.
yeah, I'm not sure, but a lot of people moved over to America after that, so that was probably about 1800.
Yeah. So now whether that I don't know what era that word was used, but I just know it's a very
Okay,
very
right. So,
derogatory word.
well, all I'm thinking is that because this was the coach from London to Cambridge, perhaps if someone from Ireland was on it, and then perhaps some English was having a pop at them, and we're picking that up. That's all I'm going along the lines of that in a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe, because like even now we get like the Irish taking the mick out of the English and the English taking the mick out of the Scottish, and it goes round and round, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
we just always get, but it's banter in it. None of it's.
And then there's banter and there's banter.
Yeah.
But that is offensive.
Oh no, that's bad. But
That is.
I know football can get a bit nasty,
It's
but normal banter is just
people-
funny banter, innit?
people used to use that word against people at the IRA.
Oh really?
Shall we say.
Oh, I can't see
And
what that would have to do with this
and
rod.
that's,
To be fair,
The number 7.
the number 7.
that's a mystical number 7, isn't it? But we've somebody told us yesterday that. Well, actually, this is quite strange. We've got to tell people it's quite strange what happened yesterday's story. So, me and Andy believe usually that if something lands in our laps, then we have to go and check it out.
And
So, what happened yesterday, we just pitched our tent, and this guy came over and he said, "You look like the kind of people who might be interested in this," and he gave us a yellow leaflet. And it's advertising underground Knights Templar caves, which you have to book by appointment because they're not open to public. And then he disappeared, and we're like, okay, right, let's take a look. So we booked it, and we're going to be doing it next Sunday. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to film in there or not. And if we can, we will.
yeah.
If we can't, we're going in anyway, because we just feel like when things
need
like
to.
that randomly happen,
Yeah, because
we have to check it out.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
This area underground apparently has these Knights Templars caves, and even the local people are not really aware of that. And this guy we was talking to and his
So-
missus, they go chasing Knights Templar stuff all over, don't they?
We made those very, very derogatory comments. Can you give me your name? I mean, don't stand in the shadows, like
But I can't understand why we get this kind of stuff down here.
office. I don't because it
The only thing is, right,
I don't know.
because you think of Buckenhare in Scotland, a lot of Irish did come over to Britain to work from the 1800s because the money was better. So what if one of these coach drivers was an Irishman, or maybe even the funeral coach driver was an Irishman, and some of the passengers was having a pop at him because he was Irish? And perhaps they were having a laugh with him because if he was the driver of the funeral coach, then that would have made it even more kind of.
We don't know what was in these surrounding fields and stuff
No,
like that.
I should think that hasn't changed much, to be honest, just Farmers Field.
I don't know. I mean, that's and the other word. I don't think that word would have been a
What, homo, as in homosexual?
yeah.
I've never seen it in any of my books.
As a term of abuse. So I don't,
It doesn't turn up in the classic novels at all.
it doesn't.
In fact, gay people don't turn up in the classic novels at all.
You don't.
It's as if it was illegal to write about it and illegal to address it.
You know.
There was no word for it back then.
No, it was.
Well, there must have been gay people in those days. I mean, there was Oscar Wilde and he wasn't bothered. He just come straight out and said, look, I am what I am and that's it.
He wasn't really.
Because I'm sure he got arrested a couple of times.
Oh yeah, he was. Because
You know, he wasn't bothered. He was being himself and that was it.
abandoned.
Yeah, well,
What's
there isn't.
abandoned?
I know what's abandoned,
What's
but I ain't going there.
what was abandoned?
I ain't going there.
Was somebody abandoned here? And they were abandoned and left here.
Maybe the Irishman was abandoned and left here for being Irish. You know, if they all started having a pop at one person, because
Yeah,
if an argument kicked off in one of these coaches, and maybe the one person was out firing back, they said, right, we'll dump him by the roadside and leave him here and go without.
If you think about it, in times past, when we were fighting against the Scottish, a lot of Irish Republicans came over to fight with the Scots, and I know quite a few when they had William Wallace. A lot of Irish came over from Ireland to fight with the Scottish because they hated the English.
Okay, yeah.
So, so there is always that.
And we don't know who's travelled along this highway, do we?
Well, we don't.
We don't know the history of the travellers or anything like that. That's what we're trying to find out doing this.
We don't.
So we're still inviting anybody, spirit people, to come forward to tell us their story. What we'll do is we can walk back again because we're only halfway through the shoot, so we'll go and turn and come back and do it again in case there's anything else that needs to come forward.
Do you want us to go back?
These creepy ass cars have gone now, so we're okay.
So do you need us to go back down this road? If you want us to go, where do you want us to go? Do you want us to turn now, or do you want us to carry on and come back? It's up to you. You can tell. You ask the questions.
But if you want a 45-minute shoot, we're going to have to turn around and come back.
So,
if you want to stop up here, I'll walk back on my own. This lane doesn't bother me in the slightest, but that graveyard, that really was creepy vibes in there, guys. I can't explain what was going on in there. Just for a start, we didn't even know that church existed, and we shouldn't have even been in that area anyway. We'd just driven out to the petrol station and all that and turned back, and we'd pulled over just to look at a building that looked abandoned, and then the next minute we were in this graveyard and I was like, what the hell? We didn't see this. And then it got creepier as time went on after that. So to be on this highwayman's passage right now, this road is quite relaxing compared to what we've actually done tonight. Coming back to the Green Man now, that's that light at the end of the road, the Green Man pub. So I think because we've got a little more time to film, we maybe just go back down the lane a little bit more again and see if we can get anything else. Do we have any highwaymen present in these parts who are waiting to ambush just the next coach coming along? And if you're here, please come forward and give us your names. I'm carrying loads of valuables and jewels. You might want to rob me. You might want to rob Andy. Just come forward out of the trees. Let's be seeing you then. Let's hear the clatter of the horse's hooves and the wheels. It's a great moth detector, this flipping torch. We have this in summer that we shine the torch and the moth come flying. So if you see any moths flying to the camera, they're not orbs. They're not orbs, they're moths.
So come and talk to us.
Yeah, come forward. Show yourself on the camera or speak.
Can you tell us something? Can you give us some names? Can you give us anything that happened down here? Can you tell us what this road was used for?
Did you go to Cambridge on this coach route?
Where did you go?
Did you go to university there?
You need to talk to us. Tell us, can you give us your name?
See, maybe this Irish person was a student going to Cambridge Uni.
Can you tell us your name?
Because students going to Cambridge University would have come this way, from London across, if they was travelling from other parts.
you give us your name? And tell us what you did. And why you were down this road and what happened. And why you're still stuck on this
That'll
road.
be animals, that. That's one thing you've got to remember at night time. You're going to get owls and rabbits and things like that. We freaked out a few times thinking, oh my god, that's paranormal. It's not. It's just animals settling for the night. Or animals coming out looking for food. Like deer and that come out at night, don't they? There's a few houses down here. We don't want to freak people out by shining torches around. So any highwaymen, would you like to come forward? Any travellers? Any university students who used to take this route? Now is your chance to come forward and show yourself on the camera or talk to Andy through that device. This is Haunted Highwayman's Lane.
From the camera. Not so.
Not so?
Not so.
So who did travel down this road then? If not students, then who?
Or is anybody who's walking down this road who had an accident down this road? Anybody at all? Come and talk to us. Can you make a noise? Can you show yourself on the camera?
We are getting the odd moth flying about, guys. Don't get that mistaken for an orb or anything. You'll know if it's an orb and I'll tell you if I see it, because it's like a shooting star. We have had orbs plenty of times before and they're like shooting stars. These little things are just moths. They're attracted to the torch. There's not a lot we could do about them right now. It's summer.
We used to walk down this road when it was all the way down.
See, I think people would have walked down and thumbed lifts off the coaches going by, or perhaps even jumped on the back and sat down for a bit of a lift.
And connected with or you even connected with the pub if you used to walk down here to work at the pub or the inn or whatever it was at the time.
No messages coming through now, is there? We've got loads before, didn't we?
Yeah, it's quiet.
It's gone really flat, hasn't it? Did you want to do some EV?
False.
False? What's false?
I think he just wants us to walk down here and walk back.
Really?
I think it's more that. Yeah.
Did anything follow us from the graveyard earlier? And if the answer is yes, who please? Who are you?
Can you give me your name? Can you tell us where you are? And why are you here? Speak to us, you know.
If you can let us hear the sound of horses' hooves, or the sound of wheels, or the sound of passengers chattering.
Yeah.
Then we will feel like we're on a haunted highwayman's road.
Are you a highwayman? Did you get caught on this road in a duel?
Oh god, it's a tree. Oh my god, that grabbed me then, it's a tree. I was getting too much into this story. I thought it was a highwayman, then they grabbed me by the shoulder.
Can you give me your name? It doesn't matter now because nobody can do anything to you.
Signal.
Signal.
Yeah, well they would have a signal, the highwaymen. They would signal to one another to say a coach was coming and to attack it.
What was your signal? What was your signal? So that each other know. when something was coming. Or is it your signal a secret? If it was, it's a secret.
I think they used to use like different coloured handkerchiefs and stuff to, you know, signal that it was an ambush or it wasn't an ambush.
Yeah. It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. Considering in the graveyard before we was getting like one message after another after another. In that creepy graveyard. I don't know what's going on with that. Seriously, I don't know what was going on with that graveyard. The feeling in there, everything was just wrong, wasn't it?
No, disrespect you out like that. I hate it. What do you hate? You just said you hate it. What do you hate? What do you hate? You tell me what you hate. Do you hate it where you are? Would you like to help to move on? You want I help to move on? Say help. Or help me. Because you can.
So this was the turnpike road. So that meant you had to pay at the top to come through. So you probably would, in stages, you'd have to pay money to go through to the next bit. That's how these roads got developed, because you used to stop and pay to cross the next sort of like 10 miles, and the money they collected they spent on making the roads better. So that's how eventually we got these kind of roads.
What do you hate?
Now it's called road tax.
Because you hate it. What do you hate?
Did it say hate?
Hate it.
Hate it. What do you
I
hate?
hate it. And what do you hate?
I've seen a pair of eyes up there. Is there a cat? Yeah, that was a cat or a fox. Did you see the eyes? There was a pair of eyes lit there.
I think when we were coming
Was
down,
there a cat?
I think when we were coming down, that was that. I think it was a cat.
I might have caught that on here actually. So guys, that was an animal. That was definitely animal's eyes that caught in the headlights, wasn't it?
Going in and came back up.
Did you see a cat?
Yeah.
It's probably the cat then. Yeah, it was definitely a pair of eyes that, but not paranormal eyes.
Yeah.
Normally animal ones.
Over that way before.
No, yeah, it's probably a cat then.
Incur.
Incur. Let me look how it's spelt. Yeah, that means like if you incur a debt. You know, like if you incur normally is referring to you owing money to something. You incur a debt or something. Perhaps somebody didn't pay the fare.
Did you not pay your fare and that's why you were left?
Maybe, yeah.
And you were stranded here with no money and nothing. Is that why you hate it?
See if we can see that cat. I'm sure it was a black one as well, if I remember. It's probably gone in the shrubs now. It's probably frightened by the light. A black cat on Highwayman's Lane. Just completes the atmosphere, that does.
Yes.
Yes.
What did you ask?
You didn't ask anything.
Oh,
Yes.
well, what was your last question then? Maybe it was thinking about it.
Did you? I said, were you left here, and that's why you hate it? Can you say yes again, if that's what you meant?
That's a moth, guys, coming up there by Andy.
So you were stranded on this road? And you left stranded because you couldn't pay?
Yeah, they might have thrown somebody out for arguing and fighting.
Yeah, and just left you with no money, and that's why you hate it here.
It's just like the National Express. Remember we got the National Express to London and they pulled over and nearly threw that guy off for eating pasties. So it's always the same thing. And they nearly threw that other guy off for playing his headphones too loud.
To pay your debt off. Did you get a job at the inn to pay your debt off? Is that why you're still here? You haunt the inn.
So we're coming back to the Green Man Inn, guys. That's the light over there. So this would have been like a coaching inn,
But you can move on, you know.
where the coaches would have pulled in and people would have had meals and either continued or stopped over.
Marks? What kind of marks? What do you mean by marks? Marks? Scratches? Marks, scratches? Has somebody got scratched tonight? Is that what you mean? Will somebody check when you get back whether somebody's been scratched? Is that what you mean?
I don't feel like I have,
I
to
don't
be
feel
fair.
like I have actually, no. I don't, I didn't even think of asking that because I thought, no. It just felt nasty.
The only time I ever got that was when we'd done East Drive, and I had the doll sat on my lap
Yeah,
upstairs.
you did. Yeah,
And then I got a scratch on my hand the day after.
Yeah, you did. And you had that doll, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't feel it at the time. It's only the day after that I saw it. That's the only one time I've been scratched, that's it. And even that, I can't even say whether I did it myself or whether the dog, it was, I don't know.
I've never.
Did you never get scratched?
I don't think I've ever.
Alright, I
felt
thought you
like
did. Must be thinking of someone else.
I have. I don't think
I can't remember if you did or not.
as far as I'm aware.
Oh, that guy got scratched, didn't he? That was at East Drive as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but as far as
Was
I'm
that at
aware,
East Drive?
Probably.
Probably.
I can't. Oh, was it Skirridon? Skirridon. No, it was East Drive.
It was East Drive.
It was
The guy
East
who went,
Drive.
oh, it's. I don't.
Because he weren't believing in any of it,
No,
were he?
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. He had three. And three's normally demonic, isn't it? It's mocking the
He
Trinity.
was a bit. Well, he was a bit.
He was a bit spooked to it. Well, I would be. But then again, I wouldn't mock it. I'd respect it, you know.
He
Just
was a
don't
bit
risk that,
freaked
do
about
you?
it. But then again, I'd like the evidence.
Well, yeah, there's getting the evidence. There's being disrespectful towards spirit, isn't there?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You can get the evidence without having to be like that.
Yeah, there's.
You know what I'm saying?
I want it because I want the experience of actually that spirit can touch you.
Yeah.
And if you, I'm not saying I antagonise it.
Yeah.
I don't antagonise them. It's when it's a spirit that's not nice. And I think, why should you get away with being nasty to other people?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you both barrels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the only time I wouldn't, something just for the sake of
No.
of doing it. And
Yeah.
I'd sort of say, you're big and strong and this, that and the other and you're scaring people. You don't scare me.
So we're back at the Green Man's pub. That's the Coaching Inn pub.
That's been really quiet.
And we're back at the, what was reputed to be a funeral parlour back in the day, but it's been extended on now and modernised.
Mouth.
Is that another word? Mouth. Oh, right, as in mouth.
Mouth as in.
Okay.
Not in the mouth.
Well, we've still not really got any clues to this road, have we? But this is it for paranormal, isn't it? You don't know.
It started off with quite a lot, but now it's just gone really quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has now.
And it's like, you've got bed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, one of the first words said was, when we started, it said residual.
Yeah, it did say
So,
residual,
you might have picked up more on the camera.
Maybe.
Than getting to on here, but
And
it was quite busy.
the viewers are going to see it before us, because when we get home and load this up, it's already on and people have watched it, and then we get to see it. So half the time you guys see it first.
I mean, it was well worth doing. It was and Spooky Lane, and I guess it's haunted, but I think it's more a residual energy down there than an actual ghost haunting.
But most of the highwayman roads are down this part of the country, aren't they? Except one that goes from Edinburgh to York to London, which is now the M. Is it the M? What's the motorway that runs down that side? The M1 or the M6?
M1.
So the M1 is what was originally Dick Turpin's Edinburgh to York to London route.
Yeah. The M1
I think Edinburgh to York was one set of highwaymen, and I think Dick Turpin took the York to London route.
I'm dead. See,
You're
that's
dead.
what I had before.
And we stood outside the mortuary, what used to be the
That's what I
mortuary
had
again now,
before.
apparently.
Because when it came up, it went funeral home.
And now
I'm
it
dead.
said, I'm dead.
So,
Maybe that's why.
now because we're ignoring you, are you starting talking to us now? Yeah? Is that why you're starting talking to us, or are you more active up here? I like
Perhaps.
what I said that you got left.
Perhaps we are more active up here. Well, we need to walk back to the Green Man and wrap it up now, because that's it. That's it. We're losing battery now, so we're losing 45 minutes is our stretch. And there's the Green Man sign. You know when I said earlier about everything's related to the Green Man in these parts? The Green Man. Quite chilling really. Because it's all Green Man around here and I'm wondering like what's going on here. So,
2 or 3 pubs called the Green Man.
yeah, there is.
You know what I mean?
It's a big feature around here.
It was,
And if you watched the last one, the Spooky Graveyard, we've explained all about the Green Man and what it represents and now and what it represented back in those days, years gone by. So we'll leave you on this spooky Highwayman's Road, and tomorrow we're pushing on to Canterbury, and we'll see you from there. We'll see you on our next location. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing,
Yeah.
and we'll see you very soon. Take
See
care.
you soon.
Bye.